Okay, guys, welcome back to another episode of Hauntophobia. Tonight, we are at the Hermitage ruins. While we're walking along here, I'll get into a little bit of the story. I'm not going to talk much about the history. And just to let you know, tonight, again, I'm with Amy from Stone Path Paranormal. We decided we wanted to check this place out. Now, I will tell you that this place is very creepy. There's Amy over there. She got herself a new light tonight. Or today. When did you get that light? Today?
Yes, last night.
Last night? Okay. So we're walking along the path here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history of this place. I'm not going to get, I'm not going to get too much into the history. So, the Hermitage Mansion, if you don't know where it is in Ancaster, Ontario. So, when it comes to the paranormal, it's reportedly haunted by two ghosts. And those two ghosts are William Black and Alma Dick, can't pronounce her last name properly, Loudner. Now William Black, let me just get to William Black here. Kind of reading this off the page because there's a lot of information, a lot of history on this place. This house with it is actually where we're going to is a mansion. This mansion was destroyed in the 1930s from a fire by a broken chimney. And the only thing that remains now are the walls. It's Dundas Valley. Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing this, Tiffany's Falls. That's pretty cool.
Well, there's several buildings. I'd like to see if we can make this a two-parter.
Oh, really?
Do the ruins plus then there's the other, like the.
I would have no idea where to find the falls. Do you have any idea?
No, not the falls, but like the No, I have no idea.
Dundas Valley Conservation Area. It would have been nice if they had, maybe inside they might have an explanation on what happened here.
That would be
nice. I'm sure they do. So right up front there, as you can see, that is the gatehouse that when obviously people were living here, they would enter through the gates and the person would let them in. Here's a sign there. Yeah. So as I said earlier, William Black and Alma are the ones that are haunting these grounds. And I know this particular place is part of the ghost tour in Hamilton. This is the way to the Hermitage Cascade. So that's where the falls is. So it's down that way. And actually, you know what? I can hear it.
Yeah.
So this is the gatehouse where, obviously, when people lived here, they entered through these gates, and whoever was on patrol or security or whatever it was would let them come in. So we're gonna go check out the falls right now. Oh, that's cool. How do you get down there? Oh, you only see it from here.
Yeah, this is private property.
So I don't know if you can see it, guys. Oh yeah, there you go. You can see a little bit. There's got to be a way to get down there. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. So it's only really a lookout point or a lookout spot, right? You actually can't get down there.
There's not much in it. Fall through all that.
Yeah, and then fall over.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go for a nice little swim.
no, not into that.
Okay. Okay, it's nothing. I think they'd have some words or something like that in there. Where's Amy? Oh. She must have went around. So the mansion was built in, there she is. The mansion was built in 1830 by a gentleman well actually a Scotsman by the name of George Sheed. And unfortunately he died before the completion of this mansion. And then unfortunately he was, like I said, he was unable to complete it, died before it was completed. And then it was bought by an Englishman named Otto Ives. And Ives lived in this mansion his whole life. So we gotta figure out where we're going here. Okay, the Griffin House. Side, main loop, first trail. So, which way are we going?
That's the Hermitage rooms this way.
We go straight down?
I think so.
I thought from the pictures, it looked like it was just straight across. Okay, well let's go down this way. That's the Griffin House is 450 meters away.
And that's that. We could have stopped there.
So, like I was saying, Otto Ives lived here the rest of his life. Died in here, in this, I guess, this mansion, and he died in 1853. And then the mansion was purchased by a gentleman by the name of G.G. Brown Leith, who tore down the old place and rebuilt a new one. That's cool. Sensitive habitat. Keep dogs, horses out of the stream. Okay. So yeah, so he knocked down the old mansion and rebuilt a new one. And this is the mansion that stands today. Well, what's left of it, I guess. So, I wasn't expecting this. I thought it was right off the road. Oh, look at this. Actually, I think this is the tree that I was reading about. This tree here, I think I was reading about this tree. These trees live up to about, they live to be about, or live up, or how would you say, they, yeah, and they can live up to 600 years.
There is one that's on the trail somewhere, like near the ruins.
So then this must be it.
But no, it's 6 feet wide.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's in like.
Okay. What is this rock doing here?
You know what? It kind of looks like it was placed.
It looks like a what?
Almost looks like it was placed.
Wow.
Maybe to protect the tree.
But I know these.
I don't know.
I know these red oaks last up to about 600 years. Here's a map. We're right. Where are we?
You are here.
Where? Oh, there we are. Right here. So, we gotta go here. Okay, let's go. So, I tell you one thing. It is very dark. So G.G. Brown Leith, like I said earlier, bought the property, knocked down the old one, and built a new one that still stands today. Well, like I said earlier, what's left of it. What was that? That was a bird, but it sounded like a weird bird. Yeah, it's definitely. What's that? No, because it was over here and then it was over there. Okay. So, now, Mr. Leith did pass the mansion down to his daughter, and his daughter's name was Alma. And she lived on this property till, I believe, till 1942, until she died. Now, just to talk a little bit about her. She was a little bit on the wacko side. I guess her younger year, or her last few years, she was considered quite crazy. I don't know if she ever married, but she supposedly had a lot of animals. And story told, or story told, or told story, story told, that she loved talking to her animals, and she was a little bit, again, on the crazy side. And it's even reported, that I read, that she liked to have tea parties with her animals. It seems a little bit weird, if you ask me. So it seems like we might be getting a little bit close. So yeah, so she was considered a little bit crazy. And it's funny because when this mansion caught on fire, and the reason it caught on fire was because of a broken chimney. So the Hermitage had several owners before it was acquired by George Gordon Brown Leith, 1812, 1887. In 1855, Mr. Leith, a wealthy Irish-born Scottish immigrant, settled his family on the land because of its proximity to the privilege of the British upper-class establishment in the Hamilton area. Can you imagine Hamilton being upper class? It was also fitting location because its rolling hills and gentle streams brought back emotional memories of the Scottish landscape. He built a large stone house with limestone quarried from the property. The Leith used the Hermitage as a summer residence and spent the winters in either Hamilton or Scotland. Eleanor Alma Dick, I think that, what is that, Louder?
I think it's Louder.
Louder, the only one of the 5 Leith children to be born in Canada, was devoted to her family's home, even after its destruction by a fire in 1934, as I mentioned earlier. She built a modest house within the ruins and lived there alone till her death in 1942, which I mentioned earlier. Ruins of the Hermitage found on the Headwaters Trail are all the remain of the graceful splendor of the Leith estate. The Gatehouse Museum, part of the original estate, housed the gatekeeper and his family. It now exhibits the artifacts. What's that? My lights excavated from my light was shining on it from the ruins, which tell the story of the Leith family. Well, here we go, guys. So I will tell you that it looks brand new, because it is. I don't know what year, but this was actually taken apart stone by stone and rebuilt, because it was obviously falling apart. So I know that the town of Hamilton almost spent I think it was the town of Hamilton or the Hamilton conservation area spent almost $600,000
really
on this property and redoing this stuff.
I did read that.
This, like I said a few minutes ago before you got here, this was taken apart brick by brick and put back together. What was that? I heard something. I don't know if it was an animal. Might have been. Hear it? Maybe. Maybe.
This was falling apart.
Sorry? Let's go inside.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Do you? This is absolutely incredible. Yeah, those are coyotes. Wow. Absolutely amazing, guys. I don't think the pictures do it justice. Or the video. Now, I am guessing, I'm only guessing here, but this is probably the small house that was built. Or maybe it's part of this, who knows? But I know, oh, this goes far back there. So I know William Black hung himself there was supposedly a barn or something, or literally maybe another little house or something. He hung himself in that, and I won't get into the story too much, but he was in love with the woman, and because he was an upper class, I guess the father didn't approve, and he was in love with her. I don't know, was she in love with him?
I didn't read if she was or not. He was in love with her. I was assuming that she was.
So
The uncle said no.
yeah, I thought it was the father that said no.
Could have been a father.
Yeah. Yeah, it could have been.
See, I read uncle.
Okay. So an uncle. So, whatever. He wasn't allowed to marry her because he wasn't upper class enough. So, he ended up killing himself. And from what I read, it was behind the house. There was a barn or something like that. And he killed himself in the barn. And I guess Otto went looking for him and found him. And I guess, I don't know, I might be wrong on this, but I heard something along the lines of because he killed himself, he wasn't allowed to have a proper burial.
It wasn't, yeah, correct.
And so he ended up burying him on somewhere on the grounds.
Somewhere else on the ground.
I think I think in the area where it's called the Hamilton Lovers Lane.
Could be.
Something along that lines. You know what, guys? What I'll do is I'll put it in the description.
I'll be putting it in the
I'll put it in the description and I'll give out the whole story. I just don't want to get in the whole story. But paranormal wise, we are looking for William Black and Eleanor Alma. Now, when I was reading, they never gave Eleanor, they only gave Alma.
Yeah, same.
So that's interesting to read. So, but this place is absolutely... Now, do you think this was all the way down there?
Oh, for sure.
Because there was supposedly a barn.
I think the barn is probably
Barn was down behind.
somewhere. So, like, here's the path.
And that's where Mr. William Black decided to hang himself.
Or a tree.
Was it a tree?
It was either a tree or the barn.
I thought it was a barn.
See, I was reading different websites, right?
Yeah. Well, you're always going to get conflicting stories, right? So, this place is absolutely incredible. One place I do want to go to, I want to go to that train station.
To where?
The train station?
Yeah.
See, now I'm thinking this is probably it right here. Because look, you got that small little window there.
It's hard to tell. Depends on how big the actual...
I don't think it would have come back this far.
You think it would be this close to the barn, though?
Well, it did say it was in the back. It was in the back of the mansion. And
Yeah, I guess it's back in
that seems like a door there right there. That would seem like there would be a door right there.
Door, yeah.
So I'm assuming, well, I guess they don't want people to know the bad stuff about this place, right?
No, but they could say farm.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess. Okay, so why don't we go back up here and see if we can... What's that?
I'm just going to go over here for a minute.
Oh, okay. Okay, guys. So this place is absolutely incredible. Now, as I told you before, thought I just heard something. It sounded like voices. It's definitely not Amy. So, William Black and Alma are, I guess, seen walking these grounds, especially around the mansion, especially William Black, because he had such a connection. Same thing with Alma or Eleanor. Now there is, I think I mentioned this earlier, but this is part of the Ghost Walk tour, and reports or people have said when they're on these tours that they've actually seen like a black shadow following them in the group. Now who knows if that's true, but people have reportedly seen a shadow or a black shadow walking the grounds. It's pretty dark here, so if they were seeing it during the day I would understand, but I don't know how you would see something black. It is very, very dark here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can grab any pictures. And again, if you guys, as I always say, if you guys see something or hear something And if I don't catch it in editing, please timestamp it and put it in the comments. But you can definitely hear coyotes. Yeah, you can definitely hear coyotes. Sounds like I can hear some music too. I'm gonna see if I can take a few pictures of this place. I'm gonna let you guys sit there for a few minutes. Maybe you guys might catch something. So like I was saying earlier, this place burnt down in 1934. But Alma remained here, and the story was told that she loved this place so much she didn't want to leave. And she actually lived in a little tent for quite a few years until something was rebuilt. I'm not sure if the reports are that the town helped rebuild something, or her father or uncle or somebody rebuilt it. But anyways, this place is absolutely incredible, and I really don't know how far this house goes down. I really think that is the barn down there where William Black hung himself. Because it actually said that William Black hung himself behind the mansion. And obviously Otto Ives found him. And he actually worked for Otto Ives. Now William Black, he worked for Otto, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And was called a coachman. I guess a coachman takes care of the property.
Yeah. I believe so. Yeah, and he drove them everywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
He was their limo driver.
Oh, was he the limo driver? I thought he was more than that.
Coach, right?
Yeah.
So he would have taken care of the animals and
Yeah. Okay.
anything else. Wasn't he in the gatehouse too, or no?
I think he took care of the gatehouse also. But he was found behind. I know. I read this. I'm sure. I'm positive. He was found. Let me just look it up. I'm positive that he was found
In the barn.
in the barn, and that's where he hung himself. Let me just check on that. Oh no, it wasn't Otto Ives. It was Brown Leaf that owned it, and he was the one that passed it down to his daughter Alma.
Okay. But there was an Otto in there.
Yeah, Otto was, I think, the first.
Well, no, there was somebody prior, wasn't there? 'Cause
Yeah.
there was the priest, or the reverend, the Presbyterian reverend. He had it for a year or 2 years. He was 2 years.
Oh, William Black was William Black worked for Otto Ives. Okay, so Sheed was the one that built it, and he died before it was completed.
Right.
Then Otto Ives lived in the mansion. He bought it. He lived in the mansion until 1853.
Okay.
And then after that, G.G. Brown Leith tore down the old mansion and built a new one.
Okay.
And I mentioned that on the camera earlier. And then Brian Leith passed the mansion down to his daughter Alma, or Eleanor. And she became the last owner of the home. And the house, or the mansion, caught on fire in 1934 by a broken chimney. And then a smaller house was built, actually within the ruins. This small house still stands today. Well, I'm wondering if it's somewhere around here. I think it is.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's slightly worn down. And they're saying that the Hermitage is quite haunted.
I hope so.
In 1833, William Black, he was a Scottish immigrant who worked as a coachman for Otto Ives,
Okay.
the man who owned the Hermitage mansion at the time. So you see here it says, William Black took himself to the barn around the back of the house and hung himself on the rafters within the barn. So Black had committed suicide. The next morning, Ives realized that Black had gone missing and started searching for him. It was Ives, or Ives, who found Black's body hanging in the barn. Since people who committed suicide could not be buried in a concentrated ground, Black's body was buried at a crossroads near Hermitage Mansion. One of the roads that starts Crossroad has become Ancaster's local lover's lane. Some people claim that at night there is a moaning sound at the spot. Black Ghost is said to haunt the Hermitage Mansion. However, his ghost is said to rise from his grave and walk to the house carrying a rope.
Really?
Probably the rope he used to kill himself. He sometimes walks from the house to the grave or to the spot where he committed suicide. He is also sometimes seen as a dark figure standing around the ruins, as a body hanging from the tree. Okay. So like I said, guys, so that's a lot of it. So I think what we're going to do now, see if we can contact Mr. William. Yeah. So it might be interesting to do a thermal around here. For sure. Okay, so let's see if we can get this connected. I always have problems. What's that? I always seem to have problems. Not necessarily connected, and sometimes it's just not, connecting, and sometimes it's not working. It's weird. Okay. It's funny, I have it all grouped in one.
Smart.
And I put paranormal.
I should do that. That's actually a good idea. That is a really
It's funny.
good idea.
So let's see if we can get this going. Yeah, so this is connected. No problems tonight.
Well, that's good. I
So
love that camera.
I don't want to get too close to the speaker because then it'll be a little overpowering. Okay, so we would like to talk to an Eleanor or a William. I have this device in my hand. What's that? Hear that?
I hear talking. I hear talking.